delay. We had a technical issues.
And we can't even blame it
Hey,
on the
Mommy.
retrograde this time. Hi, Lamar. How are you?
No retrograde this time. How are you doing, Manny?
Oh my goodness, it is a beautiful day outside, and I am just so happy to have the breath in my lungs and a dog in my lap. Good stuff.
All right. So welcome to our live. If you're familiar with on my channel, we talk about spirituality and how it relates to our relationships with ourselves and with others. And we talk about all the emotional stuff no one really talk about people pleasing, needing external validation, low self-worth, and all the not sexy stuff.
Not spiritually sexy, no.
Yeah. Okay, so you are welcome to leave your questions and comments in the chat, and if you are watching the replay, so you can leave a comment in the comment section. Okay, so today's topic: are you feeling forgotten by the universe? And hear what it really means. You know what, Moni? Sometimes we do everything we can, right? We think positive, and especially if you're on a manifesting journey, right? We're doing all the techniques, we think positive, and we see the synchronicities from the universe, and all of a sudden, one day, the universe goes AWOL on us, right? So and you
Yes.
like asking yourself, you know what happened? Like, did I do something wrong? Did the universe forget me? So what do you think about it, Marty?
Oh, that is something everybody goes through, and it's not just once in their lives. It's several
Mm-hmm.
times when they level up, and soon enough, they'll begin to recognize
Mm-hmm.
where they are because it will become basically an established pattern. It's kind of like
Yeah.
if you're driving in a car and you got your radio on, right, to your favorite station, and you're jamming out to your music, but the further away you drive, you start getting static, and the songs and the radio station that you like
Yes.
stops coming in. So this is where it's like the universe goes radio silent. You're in between two places. You've left that old place, got radio silence, waiting to get to your new favorite station. It's going to become your new favorite station, promise you. But it's that in
Yeah.
between part where it's like quiet. Oh my gosh.
Oh my God, you heard the static. So you say, oh my God. Like,
Oh my
and
goodness.
the way I see it, there's a saying, the teacher doesn't talk during the test, right? Because if you're having an exam or a test, the teacher doesn't stand over your shoulders and hand you the answers,
The
right?
answers.
Like, you know what? Some teachers do. But most of them, they're not going to reveal the answer for you because you did the preparation, right?
Yes.
Right? You have all the material. You went to the extra classes, and now you need to perform, right? So I think that in the same way, the universe is giving us all the tools and all the accessories we need for our success, but ultimately we are the ones that need really to put it in action, right?
Yeah, definitely. So as you say, we do all the things right that we're told that we need to do, and this is
Mm-hmm.
where we expect that instant result as
Mm-hmm.
feedback. But as is pointed out, there is always a bit of a lag,
Right.
between what the universe is handing down and your reality sort of thing. There's always just that little bit of static radio silence, and
Right.
you learn to appreciate the pause because it's coming. It's like sitting in a restaurant and ordering your meal. You don't question that it's coming to you. You know it's coming. You just don't know exactly the moment when.
Right. Because right now, what you see in your 3D reality is a result of an old belief system. It can be a result of beliefs from maybe 1 year ago, 6 months ago, because there's always a delay. Because when you project, when you vibrate yourself, right, if that's a word, into the universe, like there's a certain timing, there's a little bit of delay, right? There's an
Yes.
echo. Like if you go to a canyon and you like shout your name, right? Like Marley. So you hear like Marley, like you hear it on like there's like 2 minutes delay or something. So it's the same thing because think about it. It's like making a U-turn, right? When you're making a U-turn to the exact opposite road, you need to slow down, right? So this
Yep.
is just the universe slowing down.
Yep. Yep. And again, it's learning not to expect that instant gratification. Because the
Mm-hmm,
wonderful law of the universe is that it doesn't give us what we want at exactly the moment that we want it, which
mm-hmm,
allows for pausing and reflection and growth. So it's actually
right,
to our benefit that it doesn't instantaneously give us that.
right. And you know, it's about trusting and having faith in what you can see, right?
Yes. Yep.
Because you don't have any problem like to trust, okay, this is, I see this battle, I trust it exists, right? But you know, I see a lot of like religious people, and I don't want to start to talk about religion, but ultimately they need to have the like faith, right? And it's really I'm really it's really interesting to watch when something goes wrong and they can see it like happening in their 3D reality, they start
Hmm.
to panic, right? But the ultimate faith is believing in what you can't see, not in what you can see, right? Because otherwise you couldn't call it faith.
Exactly. Exactly. It's faith is what is unseen. It's that
Mm-hmm,
and faith is actually it's a vibration. It's a
mm-hmm,
vibration that you send out into the universe that, I have faith that such and such exists. I have faith that such is coming to me, sort of thing, because I have developed this understanding, right? So
mm-hmm,
it's again, it's that pause, it's that little bit of a U-turn that you may or may not feel because your
mm-hmm.
vibration, you're once you change your vibration, you're going to start to become very sensitive to the fields that are around you. So, yeah, very definitely.
And you know what? The thing that we forget sometimes, it's okay to hand things over to the universe, and sometimes it's really recommended, right? But we are co creators, right? We are co creators because the universe can really feed us, right? It
Yes.
can give us all the things that we need to create or attract our reality, but it can't really spoon feed us, right? Because
As much
you
as we
know,
want to, no.
yeah, you know, and ultimately we live in a 3D reality, so we need sometimes to take action. And I see it a lot in the spiritual community. I'm not saying that sometimes you can literally do nothing, like visualize and stuff and receive all the things that you desire, but there's always you have to do some kind of action, inspired action, to get the motor running, as you say, right? Because
Yep.
you really can't do it. The universe can't really help you if you're not doing anything. And a lot of the time, when you don't see the synchronicities anymore, you don't really feel connected to the universe. It's because that you're not really taking any action. But
Yep.
you have to ignite it. You have to ignite it and to start, right? And
Yes.
then you're going to see all the divine help, as you call it, right?
Yep. It's taking that step out in faith and taking that. Sometimes even it's just a first action to
Mm-hmm.
build that momentum with the universe, sort of thing.
Yeah.
And it's also giving along with having the trust in what you can't see, it's also
Mm-hmm.
in giving thanks for the thing that you are developing, manifesting, or desiring before it ever comes in. You got to be thankful for it like you already got it.
Yeah.
So again, that's where the universe goes radio silent, sometimes just for a little bit, but as we were talking the other day when we were talking about this, there was famous campaign back in the 80s, and there was a slogan for, I want to say it was a soda pop, and the slogan was, "It's the pause that refreshes."
Yeah, I like it.
And and I'm sitting there going, that has spiritual attachments as well, because it's the pause while you're waiting and you're being patient for these things that gives you that moment to reflect
Right.
and reconnect.
Right. And waiting, when you think about waiting, we call it waiting, but there's waiting, that waiting is a state of being. Sometimes we just like wait, okay? And when we wait for someone, we like communicating to the universe, we don't actually have it, right? So waiting is a state of being. When we say like waiting for me, it just letting it, you see, or you do everything you can, and at a certain point you just have to let it go and put it
Hmm.
on the back burner, right? And just go on with your life, right? And it doesn't
Exactly.
mean that, letting go, it's a huge topic. And we can talk about letting go like it's a all topic for a new life.
Exactly.
But when when like waiting for someone is more of an allowance, right? You did everything you can. And you know what, Money? Let's talk about for a moment about letting go. There are two ways. You know what I'm going to say, right? There are two ways that the universe is going to make us let go, right? The first way is letting go by choice. Okay, you consciously take this. Oh, you know what? I don't want to do it anymore. Like whatever. I don't. I choose to just let it go for now. And it doesn't mean that you giving up. Letting go is just letting go, because a lot of the time, just notice when we let go, we receive everything we want, because we let go of the resistance and we let go of the attachment. We don't let
Yep.
go of the thing that we desire. We let go of the attachment we associate with this thing,
To
right?
that result. Yes.
Yeah, so the first way is letting go by choice. And the second way, it's letting go by force. It's it's like the universe, like basically sweeping in and saying, you know what? No, 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 no. And you're like, oh man, I have to let it go now. Like whatever. I have no choice. So which one you rather? Which one do you prefer?
Well, usually, well, at this point in my life, I have learned letting go by choice is by far the better option. And that is
Mm-hmm.
just because when you let go by choice, like you say, you get that detachment from the result,
Right.
and that actually accelerates your manifestation and your growth. It's
Mm-hmm.
when you're holding on to that old stuff and you don't want to let it go, and the universe says, nope, yoink. Now you're going to have to sit there for just, have that pause that refreshes while you reflect on
Yeah.
this.
But you know what? When it happens, it's not really pleasant, but you feel like there's like a burden, like a weight went off your shoulder, right? You feel like, oh my God, I feel much better now. Like there comes a point when you really, really, really want something, and then like you're saying, oh my God, I don't want this anymore. Like you can't really look at yourself, right? And you just say,
Right.
like, you know what? I don't care about this thing. I don't care about it. I just want to feel good again, right?
Yes.
And
Yes.
usually,
Yeah.
and usually, then you wait, and then you actually receive the thing that you wanted when you don't want it, or you receive something better. So if you know what, even if you feel like the universe is ghosting you or whatever, just let it in be. And you know what, whatever. You take care
Just
of it
let it
for
go.
me. Like talk to
Put it
God.
put it in the whatever
God,
bin.
yeah, like whatever is a magic word for me, because anytime you're like, whatever, I'm good either way. And there must be, in the moment, it's really hard for you to see that it's for your best interest, right? Because we have
Yep.
our ego. and we have all those stuff. But if you just allow it to be, and you can just approach it from a curious point of view.
Curious. Yes,
Yeah.
from a curious.
Hmm.
Yeah,
So what do you think?
be curious, not judgmental.
Mm-hmm.
That's a I want to say it's from Ted Lasso, which is a really good series, by the way. Um, there's a lot of really cool life lessons from that pertains to this topic that's actually in that series. If you look it up, sort of. But yeah, the sooner you learn to put stuff in the whatever bin,
Mm-hmm.
that's a
Yeah,
that's a
actually,
huge thing.
what I do, I like trick myself. I'm not telling myself that I'm letting go. I actually like hand the responsibility over to my higher self or God or the universe. I'm like, you know what? I did everything I could. I don't know what to do anymore. You take care of it for me. All right? I'm
Right.
adding the responsibility for you. And there is so much, skills, right? The universe has many skills that I don't know. It knows better than me. So I'm just handing the responsibility over to him. And then it's like I don't even feel that I'm letting go. I'm just, I'm not accountable, right? I'm releasing myself
It's
from
like
any.
that's above my pay grade right there. I'm just going to hand it off to the higher ups, as it were. But
Yeah,
that goes
and
along with the whole, like, you are a co-creator sort
mm-hmm,
of thing of your life. And once you realize that, the cool thing is what you were saying is, once you swap out and you realize that, you swap out your victim mentality for an active role. This doesn't mean that you control everything, because we've been taught we need to control our
right,
situations from when we're very little, right?
right.
And which is where a lot of our frustration and anger can come from, and that causes a separation between us and our spiritual selves, sort of thing. So, the nifty thing though is, once you realize you are a co-creator, you can you can choose to have any experience you want. It's just, again, you have to let go of the where and the when, and just
Yeah,
stick to this is something I choose to experience, and I'm going to toss it in the whatever box. I've expressed it,
right.
and I've expressed it. I'm just going to let it go. I know it's going to be coming.
Yeah, and the thing is, when you feel like the universe like abandon you, like all our abandonment issues start to come out.
Oh,
I was like,
yes.
oh my God, like, it's one thing, like you told me yesterday, it's one thing that your friends, it's leaving you. But when the universe like goes AWOL, you're
Goes
like,
to.
oh my
Mhm.
God, like,
That is tough. I mean, it is tough. Yes. But again, this is where we say it's the pause that refreshes, or take a refreshing pause.
yeah, and you know
Just,
what? And there's the thing, I think, Moni, that a lot of the time, the real problem we have, it's with the patience, right? Because we don't have patience. We write everything right now, like yesterday, because we live in a society like instant gratification, like everything like you want, like, the dopamine hit, whatever. But there's two kind of timing. There's your timing and there's divine timing. And usually
yep.
they're not the same timing.
No, because our timing says I want it right now, because of how we perceive time and space, sort of thing. In universal timing, it's seeing it as instantaneous. In our experience, it's got a bit of a lag. But I
Mm-hmm.
mean, that allows for a lot of good things to happen in that pause. And I just want to say hello to Lanny Banani, and hello RB. Thank you so much for joining us.
Hello.
Um, yeah. So I mean, the big thing, learning to let go, because the ego really wants you to control everything and try and make it happen right now as quickly as possible, so you have it and you make sure you have it, right? That sends out the opposite signal to the universe.
Right, right. And just money, because we had technical issues. I can't really see the comments. So if you see any questions, just let me know.
You
We
got
didn't
it.
plan on it.
Oh my
Okay,
goodness.
so and it's really like we talk about doing and being, right?
Oh
Because
yeah.
yeah, like on the spiritual community, a lot, including me, we think that we don't need to do anything like physical, but sometimes in time you're going to learn when there's a saying when to hold them and when to fold them.
Yes.
Yeah, like with
Yes.
the
Hmm.
universe, you need to learn like when it's the right timing for you to do an action, like a physical action, right? And so when the universe like pauses, sometimes you just have to do anything, but it really depends. You need to listen to your intuition and to your inner guidance, right? Because
Yeah.
sometimes the pause is just like because the present moment is always like you have like clean slate in the present moment. But what is
Yes.
our problem? We project things from our past and we drag it into the present moment. So
And shove it into the future sometimes because that's where our comfort
yeah,
zone is.
yeah, right, right, because you bring
Yes.
it into the present moment, but actually the present create you what called future, right?
Yes.
So, and that's why people don't understand why they're on a constant loop, right? Because like every moment is a new fresh clean moment, like everything is
Yes.
is it's from ground zero, right? But we have problem with this dead zone, right? When we feel like the universe abandoned us, so our mind start to create stories. Oh my God, the
I've
universe
been,
didn't hear
yeah,
me. The universe left me. The universe doesn't like me. Everyone else received what they desire, but me, no, no. Just like everyone in my life, the universe abandoned me too.
but that is something that everybody goes through. It's perfectly normal.
Mm-hmm.
The, the takeaway from this is to have your faith that things are happening in divine timing. As you say, you are a co-creator. You can ask for you can choose to speak out the experience that you wish to have.
Mm-hmm.
But when radio silence happens, you still have to have faith that that is coming to you, even though you are getting no signs whatsoever.
Right. And it comes, when you think about it, when you really, really, really want something, you really, really, really lack something, right?
That is very
So
true.
if the universe is just one big copying machine, so if you're just standing there and just okay, where is it? what are you projecting to the universe, right?
Exactly.
You're
You're
projecting that
projecting
you
that you
don't
don't
have it.
have. Hmm.
Right. And if you think about all the times in your life when you attracted things that you wanted, you usually like felt really, you had like a really like calm vibration. You didn't really care about whether you receive it or not, right? And you even forgot about it, right? Or like, oh, you know what? Like you're like, oh, thank you, God. Now you remember me? Like now, like I waited for some 10 years, but it just wasn't the accurate time for you because a lot of the time when you receive what you want after this, you can receive it after like 2 years. You're not at the point that you really want this thing anymore because you evolve, right? And there's better things for you out there. So it's just not relevant. So the
That's right.
universe knows exactly when to give you what you desire because sometimes we think that we want something, but we need something else, right?
Exactly. Yeah, and that is normally something that comes into our lives not in a form that we expect, but it's always for our growth. It's always for our reflection, our benefit, to be able to share with others as well that go through that same thing, to let them know they are not alone. This is the path that they're on, and these things are to be expected, but there's also good things to be expected as well.
Yeah, you know, I love it. I love it when the universe surprises you with good surprises. And like when you receive something that you really desired or wanted, actually, it's after you let go of the all that you just, the universe made you let go and you like whatever. But usually it comes in a way that you like, oh man, like in a million years, I never imagined that that's the way the
It would
universe
have
will bring
come.
you what it can. The universe has a wicked sense of humor. I've
Oh, very
noticed
well.
it.
Oh, yes, very much so.
And everything doesn't have to be so heavy. You know, Sometimes someone told me like one of this really strong sayings: if you want to be enlightened, lighten up, right?
That's a really good one. Yes.
It doesn't have to be so seriously. And usually, when you don't care about things, when you approach things with a playful attitude and mindset, usually you get it because you don't really expect it. Oh, wow, oh my God.
But that playful attitude is also, it's its own vibration, and playfulness is generally very positive in its nature, sort of thing. So again, you're tuning into that higher vibe, that higher frequency, and all of this has got a bit of a learning curve to it,
Mm-hmm.
which is, it's nifty. But it's also, it's not unusual as well that before you hit that shift, that synchronicities that you're used to seeing, be it angel numbers or, you know,
Yeah,
uh, uh, the shapes in clouds, certain animals that you regard with a meaning, that all goes away. Suddenly, they're not appearing anymore, and it's not. Again, it feels like the universe is ghosting you, and that you have fallen out of favor
yeah.
with the universe, sort of thing. But again, no, that's not an
But
uncommon
this
thing,
is
and you're
just
still on the
you.
right track.
Yeah, this is just you making the U-turn. And, we spoke about it
Whoop.
yesterday that a lot of the time, people, I meet a lot of undecisive people, like when I coach people, and they're really having trouble to make a decision and to stick with it, right? Because our mind saying, oh, the grass is always greener on the other side. Maybe there's a better opportunity for me, right? But you know what I tell them? I tell them you have to make one decision and stick with it and trust that you're doing the right thing, even though it's not really what you're supposed to do. Because what is the universe? The universe is you. So when you trust in yourself, you actually trust in the universe. And you know what? Even if you just have to decide, right? And
Right.
to continue with that decision, right? Until you feel otherwise, but you just need to stick to it because sometimes, even if you are taking the wrong turn, there is a saying: the wrong turn will lead you to the right path. So even if you taking the wrong turn, it always leads you to where you're supposed to be, right? Like you said yesterday,
Yep.
if you're going to Disneyland, you remember what we talked earlier?
Oh my goodness, I say so many things. But
Yeah, but that if you're driving on the highway,
oh,
right,
and you missed
and
your
you miss
exit.
the exit,
Yep, all you have to do is just go up to the next available exit, and there will always be one. And if
yeah,
you want to, you can turn around and go back. But I'd have faith that that turn that you're gonna make is still going to lead you
yeah.
to the same
It's
destination
just
that
a
you wanted to
small
end up at.
delay. It's just a small delay, but it doesn't
Hmm.
mean that you're not going to end up where you're supposed to be, right? And another big thing is that people are so fixed on getting the results that they are not enjoying the way
The
anymore,
journey.
the journey. Yeah, and you know
Yes.
what I learned? I've noticed that a lot of successful people that I met, they have like it's really interesting. They really making sure that all the little details are in order. They are really so present when they're doing something, and they are not really projecting themselves to the outcome, right? They just focusing on the thing that they're doing right now. And you know what? When you focus on the journey and when you are present on the thing that you are doing right now, the outcome will take care of itself, right?
Yes.
If you want a good outcome, a sustainable outcome, because there are people that are only go, 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 right? I want the outcome, but they miss a lot of things along the way. They're having a lot of stress and cortisol, right? And they're not really, right? They're not even having fun. They can have like a lot of
Yes.
money in their bank account, but the quality of life, it's not, it's not a quality of life. So if you just, it doesn't mean that you don't get to set intentions and outcomes that you desire to see in your life, but you can set an intentions, but while you're doing something to get this result, just focus on the thing that you're doing right now, and it will be, you will be much in a flow state, and the universe will help you to get to the result much easier. It will be sustainable, and you will be having so much fun on the way.
Now, Lanny Banani brings up a good point as well, is, along with that pause, it's also if something happens to delay you, it could be the universe protecting you from something that would not be in your benefit, like a dangerous type situation, whether it's physical, mental, emotional,
Definitely.
spiritual.
Definitely right. Sometimes when I, get the wrong exit when I drive, I'm saying, oh, you know what? Maybe something could have happened. Maybe something,
Hmm.
I have a lot of sayings, right? There's a saying, there's a saying, don't chase buses, elevators, and people, right? Because if you catch the wrong bus, maybe you're not supposed to be on the bus. Maybe this person is not your person, right?
Exactly.
Maybe the elevator, maybe you
It's
know,
not your elevator.
yeah, it's not your elevator, and you're going to get stuck on this elevator. So don't chase because there's a reason. So I'm not saying to be complacent and to say, oh, you know what, like whatever. No, 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 no. This is really an art. You have to combine the doing with the being, and to, I say on the time, like, practice being present, because when you're present, you are in the flow, and the universe will
Mm.
give you all the answers you're seeking and about the next steps. So you are not really alone. Even if you feel like this, you're not really alone, and start to communicate to this higher version of you, right? God, higher self, the universe, whatever you want to call it. Because when you start to enhance your intuition, right? So everything you desire will just come without even trying, because it's all about alignment, right? When people tell me I want to get this and I want to be that, like, it's all about alignment. When you're in alignment, like, everything just comes to you without you even trying, effortlessly,
Exactly.
because you're in the flow. Like, you ever had one of those days you just straight away from you wake up, like, everything just go like good for you that day, right?
Everything's in flow. Yeah. Everything's
Yeah.
in flow. That's
So
the best. I mean, oh my gosh, being in a flow state is like the best. And recognizing when you are in a flow state is where basically you get the downloads, you get your best ideas, you connect with people and everything just comes out, the right way instead of being misunderstood. It's not being attached to the result as you envision it. It's being open to how things come and flow from you because,
right.
the universe is a give and take.
And one thing that people don't remember, especially when, all the manifestors out there, including us, that our subconscious mind lives only in one time, the present moment.
It's always the
So,
now.
yeah, and you know what? And a lot of people are like, oh, yeah, yeah, I need to stay present. They brush it off. But no, this is your answer. Because when you're aligning yourself with the present moment, you're aligning yourself with all your subconscious desires, and boom, you're going to get it. So, so don't brush it off. The being present, it's like everything is the foundation. Like start with aligning yourself with the present moment, clear the ground, and then start to build on it with all the, techniques and stuff, because I experienced it myself. I said it before, like it took me over a year to balance my energy. But once I did, like boom, 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 you receive everything you need, and you receive also the good surprises that the universe has to offer that you never really imagine in your wildest dreams that
Yeah,
you're going
so
to get it.
yeah, Lanny Banani was saying, on the flip side of, the delays sort of thing, on the flip side, the delay may allow you to meet somebody that you're supposed to meet, which is being lined up from the universe for your benefit, whether it's, spiritual growth, whether it's that person represents a step in the direction of where it is you're
Exactly.
desiring to go. It's giving yourself over to that moment to allow what it is that you are working on to come to flow to you, because the universe is always in a state of flow, right? So
Right.
it's always trying to deliver to you what it is that you're asking. The problem is that you're holding on so tight to the ideal on how and when it should show up and through whom, that sometimes, here's the radio silence and where things get ripped away because this is your ideal on how it should happen, and that's not for
Right.
everybody's highest good. You may think it's for yours, but ultimately it's not. So again, that's
Yeah,
a really
like
good point to bring up.
yeah, what she said, it's like, everything exists in the unknown, right? And we can't see it because we never experienced it before.
Right.
So you start to believe your mind, but the mind actually, your conscious mind, your conscious mind only knows what you experience up until now and so far. So it can't really bring you to what you want to experience because it's in the dead zone, right? It's in the static when you're between stations, right?
Yes.
So,
Yes.
Mari, final words.
Oh my goodness. So there is the silence before the alignment happens, and that can be the hardest thing to realize, that silence is not rejection. Most times we take silence as rejection. That's how we've been conditioned. You did something wrong, I'm giving you the silent treatment. But what we need to realize is, when that teacher doesn't talk to you and give you the answers during the test, neither is their silence a rejection of who you
Yes,
are or who you're becoming or your ideals or your wants, your needs, and desires. Again, it's just the silence is the pause that lets you reflect. It lets you
right.
refresh maybe what it is that you're looking for, and it
Yes,
allows you to make that, pursue that choice. You make the decision and you stick to it. Well, you know what? Things have stopped showing up, but I'm going to toss that in the whatever bin and I'm just going to keep flowing.
yes,
So, and that allows that shift from lack to abundance.
right. And you know what? When you receive a no from there, it doesn't mean no, it just means not now. So there's a difference. Or you know what? And even if you don't, so either you receive this or something better. So you always have to twist it that it's going to turn out in your favor, right?
Always for your highest good, even though you
Always
may
for
not see
your
it at the time.
yeah. So I want to thank everyone in the chat. I couldn't see you. I'm sorry. We had like a technical glitch at the beginning. And next week, just for next week, we will go live on Tuesday instead of Wednesday. And then the
Yep.
following week, we'll go back to our Wednesday live schedule. All right. So thank you, everyone. Thank you for joining us, and feel free to put your comments in the comment section if you're watching the replay. And much gratitude and love, Money.
All right. This is the fun part. I love this.
Bye bye. Bye, everyone.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye bye.